A person can't get better if they can't get here to see the doctor. We've got everything that they need to be able to address those medical needs, but if we can't get them here, we can't do anything to help them. Health Partners Free Clinic is a standalone free clinic that is supported strictly through grants and donations and the support of this community. We provide full primary care to any person within the community.
The biggest challenges in having access to health care are, first of all, financial, the cost of health care itself. Number two is understanding the healthcare system. It's very complex and hard to navigate. And then finally, the transportation, getting to and from appointments and getting to and from your treatments. Access to transportation is a critical piece of having access to health care.
We have a woman who's had a history of blood clots, which is very serious. It can be life endangering. And she has struggled with many things in her life, including addiction. And because of that, she's not able to drive. She is required to get testing, blood testing, at least once a week. So she would actually walk 2 miles to get here, to be seen once a week to get that blood drawn. So it just became a real burden for her on how to get back and forth and to get here, to get that testing done, to make sure she could go on about her life. And we do have a transit program, which is great, and it's wonderful in many, many ways for what it does, but it can be expensive. So $8 a week was more than she could afford to do for this.
The public transportation system in Miami County has its challenges. There's a 2-hour window for pickup, and you can only schedule one ride at a time. Transportation does serve a purpose, and there's a lot of people that use it and they benefit greatly from it. But for the folks that we serve, the transportation system is a challenge and it's difficult.
About 30% of our patients are unemployed, most because of health conditions or issues, that they are not able to work. It's not that they don't want to work, it's that they are not able to. We had a gentleman that worked in a factory setting, and with that, not a lot of personal time that he was able to take, even with a medical excuse. And so when he had a flare-up of his gout, it caused that he could not work. He could not stand on the line and do the job. But he got a week off of no pay, and then he was considered to not be consistent, to not be a good worker. And so even a minor health issue can just throw people right out of work, so they miss paychecks and end up in a terrible situation. If they lose their car because they can't make the car payments and so it's repossessed, then how do they navigate getting here? We just don't have a system that's good and easy for people to be able to navigate.
The recent community assessment by the Troy Foundation found that childcare, affordable housing, and transportation are the 3 major issues in Miami County. We need an affordable, efficient system that will get people where they need to be and when they need to be there.
Because transportation is such a barrier to care for us, it's something that we really have looked at. How can we help? How can we address this, and how can we do something to help folks with it? There's a lot of little solutions, and there are a couple of different programs. Rides to Work is an amazing program, and they offer and have done a lot of rides for folks to get them to work. However, they have certain shifts that they can cover. They can't do it for everybody, and they can't cover the entire county. We've talked about, have our own transportation program. But then you get into things like insurance and making sure that things are covered along those lines. It gets to be very, very big and very, very expensive. So a lot of times one of us picks up and puts folks in our vehicles and takes them home, which again is a liability issue. It's something that could become really bad really quick, but humanely we don't know what else to do sometimes for our folks. But there's just so many big areas that just aren't being band-aided and are just flooding out.
Over time, people have recognized problems and challenges with the system, and so they've done their piece to fix their piece. And now we have all these little entities that are all doing a little piece of the repair. And it's kind of like Band-Aids. You put a Band-Aid here and a Band-Aid here and another one here, but eventually those Band-Aids can fall off. And then you have a bigger problem you need to fix.